Jai Shri Ram. Text completion, GRE verbal. Let's read this out. The Chinese, who began systematic astronomical and weather observations shortly after the ancient Egyptians, were assiduous record keepers. Underline that. Adjectives are the clues. Adjectives, adverbs are the clue. And of course, semantic markers or transitional markers, syntactic markers, all three mean the same, which means words like therefore, hence, that indicate a conclusion, or words like however, in spite of, despite, though, although, nonetheless, nevertheless, albeit. All these indicate a contrast. And far from indicates a complete contradiction. Far from useful, it is useless. Far from good for health, it is dangerous. Far from white, it is black. So whenever you see this phrase far from, it indicates a complete contrast, exact opposite. But all the others, although he is very rich, he doesn't do charity. So although indicates a contrast, but not complete opposite, not a complete contradiction. So these are all called transitional markers, syntactic markers, semantic markers. So these are also clues. So adjectives and adverbs are also clues. So assiduous record keeper. Assiduous means working very hard. Assiduous synonyms are diligent, 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 industrious, sedulous, sedulous, showing application, applicati, showing application, which means working very hard. So the Chinese, who began systematic astronomical and weather observations shortly after the ancient Egyptians, were assiduous record keepers, and because of this can claim humanity's longest continuous dash of natural events. So if they were assiduous record keepers, then what can they claim? They were keeping records. Okay, the answer is straight, very obvious actually. Next one. Now this is the old pattern. This is a question which I have taken from the big book published by ETS long ago, perhaps 50 years ago, which means copyright is also over. And this is how the old GRE questions used to look like. The current GRE pattern doesn't have this kind of a format. In the current one, you have a two blank question, and for each blank there are three options from which you have to choose. So the old pattern was like this. It was a pair of 5 sets, 5 answer choices. Each one is a pair, and you have to choose which one fits. And the difficulty is sometimes, in there could be 2 or 3 pairs where the first word will fit but the second doesn't, and like that. So there could be 2 where the second word fits but the first word of only one fits. Therefore that is the answer. So well, personally I think the current one is easier, though some people think that the old pattern was easier. We can debate ad nauseum, ad infinitum. Ad nauseum, ADNAUSEUM. Ad nauseum is a Latin phrase which means till to the point of disgust. Ad nauseum. So we can debate ad nauseum means to the point of disgust, in the sense that both will get angry and none will accept the other fellow's view. Ad infinitum, till the cows come home. That's the idiom. Till the cows come home would mean till eternity. Go on and on. So we can debate, but unless we keep an open mind, we will never accept the other person's view. And besides that, there are some things which are pointless debating about because they are so trivial. It is best left to the individual. So anyway, so because many of the minerals found on the ocean floor are still dash on land, where mining is relatively inexpensive, where on land it is relatively inexpensive, mining the ocean floor has yet to become a dash enterprise. An enterprise is any activity that requires great effort and some amount of courage. It's not gambling. So enterprise requires effort and courage. So read again. Because many of the minerals found on the ocean floor are still dash on land, where mining is relatively inexpensive. So that where mining is relatively inexpensive pertains to land. Remember, just before the comma, whichever word occurs, the description that follows pertains to that word only. This is an important point in English grammar which many students unfortunately do not know, and that's why they make mistakes. Therefore, mining the ocean floor has yet to become a dash enterprise. You see, all the words below are easy, simple words. So I'm not going to explain anything. So choose your pair and we will discuss the answers in the class. Jai Shri Ram.